Up this morning, woke up this morning. That's right, woke up this morning with a little bit of a hoarse voice, lots of talking yesterday. But I woke up this morning here in Miami, here in my hotel room, here at the Fountain Blue, opened up my Morning 5 planner, which the Morning 5 planner, when I'm on the road, I use the digital version. I used to not do this. I used to be totally against the digital version. I had this whole thing in my head, like, you gotta carry the heavy version if you really are committed to growth and blah, 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 blah. And maybe that resistance, I always used to believe that the resistance that you would get, from carrying the Morning 5 planner, like the heavy version, I used to believe that resistance was a necessary part of the process, which I think maybe for some, when you're early in it, it probably is. But then the more that I've thought about it now that I use my planner every single day, the digital version is the bomb. It's the bomb. But you can go to riseandgrindplanner.com. You can get the digital version yourself. But anyways, woke up this morning, went to the top. There's always a quote at the very top of the planner submitted by actual members of this community. And today's quote was submitted by Kelly Bennett. And Kelly Bennett said, "A wise man builds shelter before the storm." A wise man builds shelter before the storm. I thought about that quote, and I thought about the two different seasons. I have been one of those people. If you don't know who I am, my name is Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine. And I'm a guy who's had the opportunity to live multiple lifetimes in one life. And I remember seasons where everything was reactive, everything was impulsive, everything was in the now. And the results continued to be negative results, and I never could really put the pieces together for why that is. But now I completely understand it's so more important to build the life of your dreams, like to make decisions today that are ultimately going to build what you want tomorrow, if that makes sense. So anyways, thank you, Kelly Bennett, for the quote. It was a special reminder for me today as I am on the backside of just announcing our partnership with CDG Media, which is a huge deal that we've been working on for a very, 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 very long time. A wise man builds the shelter before the storm. We're in a really good season right now. My company's in a good season. My family's in a good season. My health is in a good season. We're in a really good season right now. So now's the time to build the shelter.
Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is, what is today? Today is Friday. That's right. Today is Friday, August 14th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, August 14th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Miami, Florida. We are here at the Fontaine Blue at the NAMAD, National Association of Minority Automotive Dealers Conference. Yesterday, that conference, last night, I should say, that conference wrapped up. Today, everyone is, I've already seen quite a few people that are grabbing their luggage. They're on their way out. They're headed back home. I've also seen some people who are still partying from last night as they wrap up the conference. There was actually a group of people that just walked by just before I went live that I know as far as they are dealers and so on and so forth, and man, partying it up, which is just good for them, right? Good for them. It's not Glenn Lundy style anymore, but good for them. But today is also the day that we are bringing home this conversation. We've been having a conversation on this series this week has been called Naturally unnatural, naturally unnatural. And we're going to bring it home today. But basically, this series starts with a simple idea. Your instincts are not instructions. Just because your body tells you something is so doesn't mean you're required to respond to it. Your instincts are not instructions. They're a suggestion. You ultimately get to choose. It's your choice. That's the difference between you as a human being versus an AI, for example. My friend Heather has been asking, last week she's been asking, and she's in the middle of filming a film right now called The Last Humans, and she's been asking that question, what makes us human? And I think what makes us human, part of it, is that we are not required to follow the instructions. We have all these impulses. We have this this body that's designed to survive, but ultimately we have a desire to thrive, and we get to choose. Oh, that's going to hurt. Well, I choose to let it hurt. Oh, that's going to be cold. Well, I choose to let it be cold. Oh, but you need to get out of here. Oh, but get out of here I am not, right? So we started with that simple idea. Your instincts are not instructions. What you feel doesn't mean you have to follow. Then yesterday we talked a little bit more about comfort, right? Human beings have spent thousands of years removing resistance from their lives, and yet we discovered comfort, though natural, eradicates resistance, which is necessary. Your muscles require resistance. Growth requires resistance. Capacity is built through resistance. But now today I want to answer the question underneath this entire series that we've had all week. And that question is real simple. Is doing the hard thing, if doing the hard thing is always unnatural, if discipline is always unnatural, if courage is always unnatural, forgiveness is always unnatural, then are we supposed to spend our entire lives fighting against ourselves? Like, it's not natural to do the cold plunge. Do we have to fight against that? Is our entire life gonna be a fight? And I think the answer to that is no, because ultimately human beings possess an incredible ability. We have the ability to adapt. If you do something that's unnatural once and it's uncomfortable, and then you do it again and it's still uncomfortable, and then you do it again and again and again, and then one day something strange will happen. The thing that once required everything you've got becomes something you simply do. You see, you and I as humans have the ability to take what's unnatural and shift it to natural. So we're going to dive more into that here a little bit this morning. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on this show, or at least maybe you know what we got to do on this show. It depends on whether you've been here before. But we got to get our bodies in motion. That's right. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want you to say good morning to me, and I'm going to say good morning to you no matter where you're watching the show, no matter where you're listening to this show, no matter what's going on. I need you to say good morning to me, and I'll say good morning to you. Just drop a good morning in the chat. Feel free to tell me where you're dropping in from. I always love seeing where people are from all around the world. But say good morning to me, say good morning, I'll say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, I'll say what's up back. This is also the part of the show where we want you to get that body in motion. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest. So let's get out, let's do some dancing. No matter where you are, no matter what's going on in your life, you always got time. We were dancing last night at Club Live. It was amazing. Miss Liza Myers-Borges, good morning to you. Thank you for being here, Liza.
Linnell Burns is in the building. How you doing, Linnell? Good morning to you. Allie Owens is in the building. How you doing, Allie Owens? Good morning to you. Michael Leafite. What's up, Michael? Thank you for being here. The Holy Spirit guides us, and God's grace gives us the strength to carry it out, says Mike. We've got Luis Grafton Nonice this morning. Good morning to you. Julio Soto's in the building. Gene Hughes is in the building. Tara Hope is in the building. Scott Simons is in the building. Robin Wilson's in the building. Kurt McFarland. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got Paul Brindley. What's up, Paul Brindley? Bill Harrison. How you doing, Bill Harrison? Spencer Nicholson is in the building. What's up, Spencer Nicholson? Thank you for being here. Tony Thorstad's in the building. Mike Larkin is in the building. Trisha Rue, good morning to you. Trisha Rue. My friends over there on Breakfast with Champions, good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for always being here, always tuning in, always supporting me. My boy Ramon Ray, I don't know if he's here right now or not, but yesterday I was teasing him and I refused to say his name until the very end of the show. Hopefully he stuck around for that, but I'm going to say his name again today. Good morning, Ramon Ray. Thanks for being here, if you are here. Kenny Apaka coming in from South Georgia. What's up, Kenny Apaka? Thank you for being here. Hey, real quick, we do a lot of events in Lexington, Kentucky. We do events for salespeople to help them really capture what sales looks like in 2026 and beyond. We do events for finance managers, general managers, owners of car dealerships. If you go to 800%.life/events, you can find an event, a time and season for you. I would love for you to come join us. All right, my battery's going super fast and I could not find a power source. Hopefully it will hold up as we finish up today's episode. So listen, I want you to think about who you used to be, right? There are things, all right? There are things that you do automatically today that once required an enormous amount of concentration. Am I right? Like learning to drive, for example, right? I've got one kid that's a driver's license. I got multiple more that are on their way. When we're learning to drive, right? Hands at 10 and 2, check the mirror, check the other mirror, foot on the brake, turn on your signal, watch your speed, stay in your lane. Like you're thinking about everything. And then now, bro, I can drive like I do drive, I shouldn't, but I do drive like doing a lot of things at the same time, bro. Like I can be eating some food, I can be talking on the phone, I can be reading a text message or an email. You know, back in the day before it was phones, it was like smoking a cigarette, eating a burger, you know, driving with my knees, you know, all of those things, right? All of those things. But originally, all of those things, you know, driving was a hard thing for every single one of us. But now you can drive halfway across town and you're like, how did I even get here? Well, the answer is your brain has adapted, right? Your brain has adapted to what was hard is no longer hard. What was unnatural has become natural. Think about your first day in the gym, the first time you ever made a sales call, first time you ever like spoke in front of anybody, the first day running a business, your first day being a parent, right? Bro, I remember changing my first diaper and now like I could change a diaper like one-handed, upside down, blindfolded, you know, I could change a diaper like nobody's business, right? And all of these things are things that used to terrify you, but now you don't even think about them anymore. And why is that? Well, repeated behavior teaches the brain what normal looks like for you. And that alone means something huge. You are not permanently trapped with the version of you that exists today. You can train a new normal. For example, there's a guy named David Goggins. I know some of you have heard of him before. I've talked about him before. Let me show you this quick clip. There is one non-edited out cuss word in this clip, so I apologize for that. But the rest of the clip is at least edited. But anytime you're talking David Goggins, good luck finding something where he's not cussing.
Retired Navy SEAL David Goggins is described as one of the toughest men on the planet.
My name is David Goggins. I created Goggins.
Athlete, speaker, soldier, and New York Times bestselling author, often referred to as the hardest motherfucker on planet Earth.
Goggins is the guy that can take anything you put in front of him.
I found his weakness. I know his weakness. It's pain. I said, not today, bitch.
You want to break my motherfucking legs? So be it.
David Goggins is the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces to ever complete SEAL training.
Army Ranger School.
And Air Force Tactical Air Controller training.
I was not always the strong guy you see.
He's also an ultra-marathon runner with more than 60
ultra marathons, triathlons, and ultra triathlons, running 101 miles in 19 hours, 203 miles in 48 hours.
I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today.
Holding the pull-up record, 4,000 pull-ups in 17 hours.
I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created.
Well known for his physical and mental toughness, for his practically inhuman level of determination.
I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created.
7, 8, 9, 10. A machine here. There you go. Nobody works like David in this house.
from living in poverty to surviving SEAL training.
Astonishing life story of childhood physical abuse, poverty, and prejudice, path that anyone can follow to push past pain, demolish fear.
And how you can reach your full potential.
What the f*** do you expect? You're not putting in the work.
From barely passing his Navy SEAL physical screening test to becoming one of the world's best ultra-endurance athletes.
Get it, 17. They don't know me, son. Get it, 18. They don't know me, son.
David routinely pushes his body to the limits.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
So David Goggins openly talks about a time in his life where he was 300 pounds working as an exterminator, unhappy with himself. And then he decided he wants to become a Navy SEAL. He had to lose a ton of weight just to qualify. So he changed his life. He started creating new habits, training, diet, running, swimming, discipline day after day after day after day. Then he went through BUD/S, went through Hell Week, went through the injuries, the setbacks, more attempts. Eventually he becomes a Navy SEAL. Then he becomes an ultra marathoner, then endurance races, then pull-up records, challenges that seem like insane to me. And then when you look at him today, you think, well, that dude's wired differently. And you're right, he is wired differently now. And that's the whole point. You and I are capable of wiring ourselves differently. Just because we were built a certain way originally doesn't mean we can't reprogram this thing right here, dude. The man capable of doing all those things wasn't discovered underneath the exterminator. He was built. David Goggins was built, like, intentionally, brick by brick by brick by brick, day by day by day by day, decision by decision by decision by decision. The way Goggins describes it is he says he calluses his mind the way you might get a callus on your hand, right? The first time there's friction, the first time it hurts, but you keep applying the friction, the body adapts. And eventually the thing that once used to tear your hands apart barely even bothers you anymore, right? Your mind works the same way. And here's the thing, man, here's the thing. You and I are always, what's up, Dominic Box? You and I are always training something. Do you realize that? Like every time you say something like, oh, I'll start on Monday, you're training something. Every time you don't have the conversation, you're training something. Every time you quit when things become uncomfortable, you're training something. Like you are constantly training yourself what normal looks like. And it's true for the negative as it is in the positive. If you get up when you say you're gonna get up, you're training that. If you keep your promises, you're training that. If you tell the truth, you're training that. If you finish what you started, you're training that. Last night, everybody's at Club Live over here. Everybody's having a great time over at Club Live. They're having some drinks, they're having some dancing. I'm in the room, my boys are there. Everybody's just having a blast, dude. 10:30, I'm like, deuces, yo, gotta go. People are like, what do you mean you gotta go? I'm like, dude, I got a show to do in the morning. I'm gonna get my 4 hours and 20 minutes of sleep. I got stuff to do. They're like, well, have a cocktail before you go. I'm like, nope, I made a commitment to no drinking this year. Not because I have a problem with drinking. I don't have a problem with drinking. I've never had a problem with drinking. I just am trying to train new skills. I gotta remind myself that I'm the boss. I get to choose. I get to choose. So other people look at me and think that I'm crazy. And maybe I am, but it's crazy, intentional crazy, because it points me in the directions I want to go. You are always, my friend, becoming something. That's what I've learned. The question is whether or not you're becoming something intentionally or whether or not you're becoming something reactively. Dude, there's a guy named Colin O'Brady. I don't know if you guys know this guy or not, but I don't know. He's an American endurance athlete. He's an adventurer. And in 2018, he set out to cross Antarctica alone, unsupported, unaided. We're talking Antarctica, all alone, pulling everything he needed to survive behind him on a sled, dude. Imagine the temperatures in Antarctica. Imagine the isolation being by yourself in Antarctica. Wind, like everything, man. It's just white in every single direction. He traveled 900 miles over 54 days. But imagine what it was like on day one. Day one, everything's unnatural. Everything's freezing. Everything's crazy. Then imagine what it was like on day 10. Why am I here? Can't believe I'm doing this. Imagine day 20. I hate myself. I'm an idiot. Imagine day 40. He's like, dude, this is brutal. I'm not even close. I'm not even close. I still have hundreds of miles to go. But at some point, I don't know when it happened for him, at some point, something happened and he started to develop the routines. He learned his body, he learned his mind, and he learned which thoughts he can trust and which ones he can't. Near the end, O'Brady, he decided he was going to finish in one enormous push. He traveled continuously at the end for more than 30 hours. Think about that. The same human who had to convince himself to take the first step eventually became capable of taking steps for more than 30 straight hours. In 54 days, he completely adapted. And I wonder, I think about that, man, because it's a long time, but it's not a long time, right? And so in 54 days, he was able to do that adaptation. And I wonder, like, how many things have we declared impossible when really we're just simply not like the person capable of doing them yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, the word impossible closes the door, but if I'm just not capable yet, like, that means I've got somewhere to go. And listen, my computer's gonna die this morning. I'm not gonna be able to finish this full show the way that I wanted to, but I do wanna make sure something really important is said. First of all, you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God gave us the ability to take what's unnatural and make it natural. You have that in you. You have that in you, dude. I am telling you. Let me be an example for you. The life I used to live, the guy that I was, like, versus the decisions that I make today, like, you can 180 anything, bro. I was hanging out with my friend Grant Cardone yesterday. I went and visited him over at his offices. We hung out for about an hour, me and him, and I brought my friend Evan, and who works with me, and my friend Rel and Denver, and they got a chance to meet Grant. They had never met him before, and we sat and we chatted for 45 minutes, and he's 68 years old. He's worth about $6 billion right now. He's in the middle of this crazy deposition that's been going on for 6 years, and I'm just sitting there having a conversation with this guy, and I remember, man, I remember who he used to be. I've watched his journey since 1999. Like, he was always kind of a driven, motivated guy, but he wasn't pointing himself in the directions that he does today. And as I'm sitting there talking with him, in the back behind him on the board, there's a note from his daughter that says, "Hey, Papa, we love you. Thank you for working so hard for us." And I asked him what mistake he's made in the last 12 months. What's the biggest mistake he's made? And he said he delegated too much to people that he shouldn't have delegated to, and things went backwards. And I'm like, dude, he's just a guy just like you and just like me, putting his pants on one leg at a time, trying to figure this whole thing out. And he just has created what was unnatural. Like, it's unnatural to think about doing $80 million deals, you know, on property, in making decisions in 15 minutes. It's unnatural to, it's unnatural to not give in to desires of the flesh in the moment. It's unnatural to show up every day exposed and transparent and put yourself out there in front of everyone, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's unnatural to receive ridiculous levels of hate and yet be able to continue to just march forward on mission. But it's only unnatural until you've done it. It's only unnatural to wake up at 4 in the morning every day until you've done it. It's only unnatural to do a show at 5:30 a.m. until you've done it. It's only unnatural to, sleep only 4.5 hours a night until you've done it. It's only unnatural to, it's just all the things.